Hello students. Today we will study about the last characteristic, that is energy changes in a chemical change. Energy changes means either energy is released during a chemical reaction or energy is absorbed. See, there are many forms of energies that we'll study later on. First, see, energy changes in a chemical change or in a chemical reactions is the difference between the chemical energy of the reactant and the product. Every substance has stored amount of energy in it, and that stored energy, that is potential energy or latent. It is commonly called chemical energy, which is stored in a substance. It is called chemical energy. A chemical change is associated with the evolution or absorption of energy. Whenever a chemical change is there, energy is either evolved or absorbed, which is required to break or form different bond. Like we have studied earlier also, the bonds of the reactant, they get broken and the new bonds are formed, due to which we get the new compounds which are called products. Okay, so bonds, breaking of bonds or form different bonds between the molecules of the reactants and products, and this energy is in the form of heat, light or electricity. This energy, the evolution or absorption of energy, this energy can be in the form of heat, light or electricity. Surplus energy is released or absorbed depending on the energy of the products and reactants. Like energy, it can be that much that it can even melt iron also. It means the amount of energy which is being released or absorbed, it depends upon the type of the reactants taken and the products formed. Now first we'll study exothermic reaction. Exothermic reactions, these are those chemical reactions in which energy is evolved out. Exo, energy is evolved out, evolution of heat energy. It is called exothermic reaction. An exothermic reaction, it can be sustained without supply of external energy. We do not need to supply external energy for this reaction, and it is indicated as plus delta T. Plus delta T means change in temperature or energy is evolved. Delta T, energy is evolved. Like when nitrogen and hydrogen, they combine, initially we will provide them some heat, but later on no requirement of heat is there, because the amount of heat which is evolved here, it is surplus to carry out the reaction, and then no requirement of further heat is there. And hydrogen and oxygen, when hydrogen and oxygen, they combine together, then too heat is evolved out. And ammonia, when it reacts with oxygen, then too heat is evolved out. Such reactions are called exothermic reactions. Now endothermic reactions. Endothermic reactions, these are those reactions which proceed with the absorption of energy, absorption of heat. And the endothermic reaction cannot be sustained without supply of external energy, means it is required there, and it is denoted as minus delta T. These are the examples where energy is absorbed during a chemical reaction. Now the next type of reaction is photochemical reaction. Photo means light energy. Chemical reaction which proceeds with the absorption of light energy, when like the process of photosynthesis, where carbon dioxide and water, they combine together in presence of chlorophyll and sunlight to form glucose, water and oxygen. And this also hydrogen and chlorine, they combine together in presence of diffused sunlight. If the sunlight will be direct, the reaction will be explosive. Hydrogen and chlorine, they react together in diffused light to give HCl, hydrogen chloride. And this also we have studied in photolytic decomposition. Silver bromide is there. Silver bromide, when it is kept under sunlight, it gives Ag2Br plus Br2. Okay, so silver salts are, therefore they are kept in dark colored bottles, because silver bromide, if they are kept in light colored or transparent bottle, they'll react with sunlight to give Ag2Br and bromine. Now this was about photochemical reaction. Now electrochemical. Electro means electricity, a chemical reaction which proceeds with the absorption of electrical current. It is called electrochemical reaction. See here, acidulated water is there, in which sulfuric acid is added. When electric current is passed through it, it dissociates to give hydrogen at cathode and oxygen at anode. In a similar way, NaCl fused means molten, not dissolved in water. It is molten at higher temperature. When electric current is passed through this electrolyte, it dissociates to give Na plus and Cl minus. Na, it moves towards the negative electrode. There it gains an electron and get converted to sodium metal. Cl minus, it is a negative ion. Negative ion, it moves towards a positive electrode where it loses that extra electron which is present in it, and it gets changed to chlorine atom. And we know that chlorine atom cannot exist independently. So two reactions here take place, like Cl minus, it also loses one electron and get converted to Cl, and the overall reaction is 2 Cl minus 2 electrons give Cl2. Chlorine exists as a diatomic molecule. Like this reaction happens. Now, condition for chemical changes, different factors which bring about chemical changes. There are many factors. First is close physical contact, like no reaction can take place between reactant if they are kept far apart. If will not combine the two reactants, they will not at all react with each other. The reaction is aided for solid particles by increasing the surface area by powdering or by grinding. If we'll take a big block like this and we'll add it to the other big block like this, they will not combine as rapid as when powdered form of these two substances are taken. It means more will be the surface area, greater will be the speed or kinetic energy or speed of the chemical reaction. Okay, examples are there, like iodine and phosphorus, they react explosively on close contact. Ki, potassium iodide, and mercury chloride, on grinding together, when they are grinded together, they react. Contact in solution, in a liquid state, the molecules or ions are in a state of random motion. We know that they are in a state of motion when they are in liquid state. Close contact is established more quickly between the reacting particle by taking at least one of the reactants in solution form. At least out of the two combining, if one is in the aqueous solution or in the molten state, the reaction will be easy. Examples are there, like sodium carbonate and tartaric acid, they react vigorously only in solution state. These two substances, like if sodium carbonate and tartaric acid are present in solid state, they will not at all react with each other, but when we'll add water to it, they'll readily combine to give carbon dioxide gas. They react vigorously only in solution state. In solid state, we can keep these two substances together for a longer time and they'll not at all react with each other. Now, all the precipitation reaction, this we have studied earlier also, that aqueous solution of the two substances or two compounds, they are taken, and those two aqueous substances, they react together to give two new substances out of the two new products formed. One is found in the solid state, which is insoluble in water, and that is called a precipitate. It means for a precipitation reaction also, we have to take this compounds in solution state. Now, by supplying energy, heat, light, electricity, pressure, catalyst, and sound. See, most of the chemical reactions are brought about by heating the reactants together. Heating actually, it initiates the reacting particle, they collide with each other and they then react. Like nitrogen and oxygen, 3000 degrees Celsius to give nitric oxide. In the same way, lead oxide is there. Here it is forming PbO plus O2. If we talk about light, the process will take place in the presence of sunlight or light only. Molecules of the reactant, they absorb light energy and they become activated and react rapidly. Like O2, oxygen, in presence of ultraviolet light, it gives O3, ozone. H2 and Cl2, this we have read earlier also. They react in presence of diffuse sunlight to give HCl. Electricity, there are many reactions which are brought about only by the passage of electric current, and like this electrolytic dissociation of water, it takes place in presence of electricity only. Electric current when passed through acidified or acidulated water, we get hydrogen at cathode and oxygen at anode. Now pressure, there are some reactions which proceed with the application of pressure, like reacting molecule, they agglomerate under or they combine under the certain high pressure, like Haber's process. This we have read earlier also. Like nitrogen and hydrogen, when they combine together, the temperature, it should be 450 degrees Celsius. Iron is used as a catalyst, and pressure is about 200 atmospheric pressure. Then we get ammonia gas. So here pressure is important. Without this, the reaction will not take place. Catalyst, there are few reactions which proceed by the addition of catalyst, or catalyst just speed up the rate of the chemical reaction, which alters means changes the rate of the reaction. And here ammonia and oxygen, they are combining together in presence of platinum at 800 degrees Celsius to give nitric oxide and water. So here platinum, it is acting as a catalyst. And the last one is sound. See, certain chemical reaction, they proceed only by the absorption of sound energy. Sound energy, it speeds up the reacting molecules, causing the reaction to occur. Like acetylene is there, C2H2. When sound energy is supplied, it dissociates or to give carbon and hydrogen gas. So these were the reactions which are proceeded or carry forward by the supplying of different forms of energy: heat, light, electricity, pressure, catalyst, and sound. This was all about chapter 2. By in our next video, we'll start with chapter 3. Thank you.